Hi again. Video number two. Doing something a little unplanned. I was planning on doing a discussion on some comics that I recently received and some discussion on just mailing comics, but changed the plans. One of my favorite, maybe my favorite, comic YouTube channel, Alan from Comic Collector Geek, does a Friday challenge. And this Friday challenge that he issued today was to discuss your top 10 comics you acquired in 2024. And this is in terms of big books, books that were pricey, were maybe grails, which my top 10 is both. This year I had some money and I was able to spend some money on comics, and I did, as I think any of us who are into comics will be apt to do. Yeah, I'm going to just kind of get right into it. Starting off with number 10, going down to number 1. I'm not going to talk about prices or something. You guys could probably guess based upon the books I'm sharing. I did a lot of Golden Age, specifically Golden Age horror, this year. And I should probably talk about, I wear a lot of the comic shirts. So yeah, this is a comic shirt, Beware number 10, classic Frazetta cover. I don't own that comic, but I would like to at some point. I was looking at it actually earlier today on eBay, but I just can't really spend that much money right now. The number 10 on the list is this. Wow, let me turn off this light in the bag. Yeah, that might help a little bit. Tales from the Crypt, number 28, classic Feldstein cover, 52, I think, 1952. In a 3.0, I am a big believer when it comes to Golden Age books that you should acquire the book rather than the grade, at least first, and then secondarily if you can get a higher grade, obviously. I liked this at a 3.0 and was happy to get it. My number 9 is this Earthman from Venus in a 4.0. This is an adaptation from a novel. It's the only one in the series. I know Alan has this. I've seen him show this, and just coincidentally, I know some people would say ironically, but coincidentally, I bought this about the same time that Alan on his show was displaying it. So it was just kind of happenstance. But I realize I say a lot. I saw that in the last video. I'll try to address that as I go, but it's going to probably go on for a little while before I'm able to. So, yeah, number 3 on the list. Eerie, number 1. I believe this is the second series. The first series, Eerie number 1, is Frazetta cover. Most people acknowledge it's the start of horror comics. This is not that, but still classic cover with the great skeleton and the lady in the red dress, as it happens quite often in some of these 1950s horror comics, trapped and in distress. 1951. I don't know who did the cover on this. If somebody's watching and they know, I would love to know. So, number 4 is this CSS 23. This famous, murder. He's trying to drown the woman in the boat. Boy, that glare is bad on these Mylars. This comic specifically is well known for, well, it comes right after CSS 22, which is one of the most desirable of this genre. foreboding. But this was also used in the Senate investigation hearings on juvenile delinquency. So after Seduction of the Innocent, there were the famous hearings, and this was one of the books that they held up during that time. Some people I know collect these specifically, the Senate hearing ones. Some people collect Sodi. I would like to collect both. I don't think I'll ever get a full collection of either, but I am a big fan of both of those. So number 5 was a thrill and then a disappointment. I was thrilled to get this. This is a book ever since I first saw it. I wanted it immediately. And I love Frank Frazetta. As I said in my first video, I think most people, again, like Frank Frazetta. I bought this raw. And you can see I submitted it. Crime Mysteries number 4, by the way, a classic bondage and blood draining cover and story. But you can see it come back restored. So there is the grader's notes on this there were some small tears that had been repaired. After I looked at it when I got it back, I guess I see there are some kind of on the back here where somebody, I don't believe it's glue. I'm not sure what they used, but I was very disappointed. I spent some money on this, and in a 3.0, this is a very valuable comic when not restored. But this unfortunately is restored. I don't mind the restored label, other than the fact that I paid up for this comic, and when I submitted it, I was disappointed that it didn't come back with a blue label. But live and learn. I think I'm probably done buying raw Golden Age books, unless it's from somebody I trust, or maybe like My Comic Shop, or one of the kind of trusted vendors. Automatic Comics, I buy from him. I would trust him, or somebody I know. Then a comic that I bought for a purpose. ASM 121. You can see it's freshly graded. It has the new Spider-Man label at the top, 9.2. I bought this at an auction, and I got it. It was an old slab, like one of the very original slabs, and I felt like it was a good candidate for to crack, press, and re-slab it, and that's what I did. Cracked, pressed, and cleaned, and re-slabbed it, and it came back the exact same grade. It came back as a 9.2. In talking to some people, I think they used to be a little more lenient with grading. It definitely has some flaws that were improved. I did not press this myself. I do press comics. We'll talk about that in a future video. I'm a neophyte when it comes to that. But I sent this off to Ron at Palm Beach Presser, Ding, who's really super guy and very good at what he does. I have all the faith in the world. He did everything he could with this, but I think it was probably overgraded originally, and this is an accurate grade for this. Still, great book. Death of Gwen Stacy, classic ASM book. I believe I'm going to hold this for a little while, and I don't know that this is a part of my permanent PC, but I will probably sell this eventually. Then comes a personal grail of mine. I think one of the great covers of the Golden Age, and specifically Golden Age horror, pre-code horror, Witch's Tales 25. It's a 1.0. I bought this raw and sent it in for grading. I thought it was going to come back more like a 1.5, 1.8. I was a little disappointed in a 1.0. I think the cover is great. I mean, the spine definitely has issues, but the cover itself, I mean, there's no tears, no creases really. I mean, no huge creases, and it's yeah, the classic decapitated head in the bell. Yeah, one of the great comic covers of all time. Still thrilled beyond belief to have this, but yeah, I thought it was gonna. I thought it was a little bit higher than a 1.0, but such is life. Then number 7, I think we're up to. 8. Oh, looks like I might have a top 11 here. Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. If I have 11, but we'll go through them anyway. This another one of my favorite covers of pre-code horror. Yeah, Shock Suspense Stories number 6. Yeah, classic bondage cover. The the weirdo kind of cultish KKK maybe. I don't know what they're supposed to be, but where they have the woman and nothing good is going to happen, which is kind of my favorite part of some of these pre-code horror, where a lot of it is implied, not always, but a lot of it is implied, and there's definite peril here. No red dress on the woman this time, but yeah, again, great cover. Yeah, Wally Wood cover. Then next is my. It's a comic I wanted to reacquire. I owned this comic when I was a teenager. I sold it when I was in the military to buy Christmas presents. I mean, when I was in the military, anybody in the military is just broke. And yeah, I bought this with some hard earned money back then. It wasn't nearly as expensive as it is now, but here, ASM 129 First Punisher in a 9.0. Yeah, iconic. I think it's one of those comics that I always wanted to have even before I owned it when I was a teenager. And I used to have a picture of it hanging on my wall. I was a big Punisher fan. And yeah, I'm happy to reacquire it in what I think is a better grade than what I had back then. And then number 1, again, I think I did 11. I apologize. It's public school math. Is one of my grails, what I think is easily, I would say, top 3 cover from Golden Age horror, pre-code horror. One of maybe the most important covers of all time, considering its impact. And it is this. I have a CSS 22 and a 1.8. This one is kind of interesting. It has like you can see here, it's got like a label rather than like the kid writing his name on it. Put a label on it, Ronald Johnson in Pinckneyville, Illinois. Yeah, so he's even got his address. I wonder if that kid is still alive and had this. And when you have something like identifier like this, a lot of times people know this specific issue. Like so, if somebody has owned this, this has probably gone through many different hands over the years. But again, yeah, one of the most homaged covers in comics. It's one of the most famous covers, and largely credited with ending the Golden Age. And certainly Golden Age horror, because after this was shown in the Senate hearings, that was kind of famously created a huge stir, and shortly thereafter, the Comics Code Authority was passed, and this type of cover was gone. EC Comics did not last very long after this, and yeah, I mean it's Fantastic. I mean, ever since I first saw this cover, I wanted it, and I was really happy that I was able to get it in 2024. Again, I came into a little bit of money. I know it's a 1.8, but I still think it looks great, and I am really happy and proud to have it. That's mine. I guess that's a top 10 with a with an extra thrown in, an honorable mention. But yeah, if you see this, if you're seeing this for the first time, this is my second video, and I know I'm not that great at this yet, but I hope I improve. And yeah, I'm gonna tag Alan's page in this, or his channel, and I'm going to probably leave a comment just saying that I made this video. So Alan, I hope you saw this, and I hope to participate in more Friday challenges. Thanks for anyone who stopped by. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will probably say hi to you. Bye. Happy weekend.